Ya lai la lai lai, ya lai la lai, ya lai la 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 lai la lai. Ya lai la lai lai, ya lai la lai, ya lai ya la la lai la lai. Hai lai lai, ya lai la lai lai, ya lai la lai, ya lai la lai lai, ya la lai lai lai, ya lai la lai lai, ya lai la lai, ya lai la 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 lai la lai. Ya lai la lai lai, ya lai la lai, ya lai la 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 lai la lai. Ya lai la lai lai, ya lai la lai, ya lai la 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 lai la lai. Hai lai lai, ya lai la lai lai, ya lai la lai, ya lai la lai lai, ya la la lai lai, ya lai la lai lai, ya lai la lai, ya lai la 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 lai la lai, ya la lai lai 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 lai. Join with me. Ya la lai lai lai, 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 ya la lai lai lai.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's begin with our temple heart tap so that we can greet one another and see one another. There is a common expression in our tradition that more than the Jews have kept the Sabbath has kept the Jews, that the Sabbath day has held us together century after century. And I think of that quote when this week someone said to me, Rabbi, it's been a year on Zoom for Shabbat services, and I wouldn't really know which day it is without our Shabbat service. They tune in every day, and it's been a wonderful way to mark time together. And so I am grateful for this community and the medium of Zoom that has held us together during a very difficult time. At the same time that we're being patient, we're looking forward to the day when we can all celebrate in the sanctuary. So beginning tonight, we're going to start trying some new things with the hopes that one day, God willing, we will be back in the sanctuary and on Zoom at the very same time, which presents its own complexities so that people can enter the sanctuary when they're comfortable, but can remain on Zoom if they're not. And so we'll be experimenting in the following weeks with different technologies, hopefully different cameras. It requires a whole new infrastructure. But hey, a year ago, we changed a lot of what we do in our synagogue community, and our values anchored us, and our community anchored us, and we continue to gain strength and vibrancy. And I'm sure we'll do the same in this time as we experiment and try new things and invest in new infrastructure. What will remain the same is our love for one another, our love for the Jewish tradition, and our commitment to the betterment of our world. And so tonight, I'm in the sanctuary, as you can see, with Rabbi Sherman, who's delivering the sermon. Cantor Zell, Ilana's on the piano. And because we're limited to a camera that's directed from California, believe it or not, and not in the sanctuary, we're going to encourage you to go into gallery view on the top right so that you can see us close up. People have really enjoyed the intimacy of Zoom, and we don't want to lose that. At the same time, to gather the sound in the sanctuary, we need the collective camera in which you see the cantor right now. And so the sound is coming through that box, even though she's looking down at her Zoom box. So it's a little confusing. So you're best off in gallery view, and we're going to experiment and try this together, and please give us your feedback. But most importantly, one thing remains the same, and that's that it's Shabbat, and we're going to rejoice together. We're going to turn off some of the distractions, and we're going to anchor ourselves in time. And we're going to tune inside to what we know to be truly important in our world. And that's an exploration of ethics and morality, the desire to reach out beyond ourselves, to make the world a better place, and do it in community, because by joining with others, we can become better people than we could ever be were we to be on our own. And so with that, let's rejoice in Shabbat. The words are Lechu Neranana. You ready, Cantor?
Lechu neranena l'Adonai Nariya Litzor Ishenu Nikaram Afanav Betoda Bizmirot Nariya Lo Yalanai Hai na dai 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 Hai na dai 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 Hai la 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 Hai la 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 Hai la 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 Hai la 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 Hi la 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 Hi 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 la 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 Ya la la la
Before we welcome Shabbat, I just want to say once again, it's good to see everyone on Zoom. Even when we re-enter our sanctuary, I think we're going to have a high chair in the sanctuary with Drew Ganitsky eating his vegetables. It just won't feel the same without it. And other people sitting around the table, I can see a number of folks enjoying themselves. I think some people will just bring in their sofa into the sanctuary because we're used to seeing you on your sofa. And we're going to take the best of Zoom and bring it here. And so Rabbi Sapphire, who is actually at home, will you lead us in candles?
So for me, it is my dining room table that becomes the Shabbat altar, as it is. But I hope as we welcome Shabbat that there is a time, the moment comes when you can take a deep breath and sigh it out, and with it just comes this feeling of Shabbat has arrived. And for me, every single week that moment comes with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. So I am hoping to feel a collective sigh of shalom entering our homes as we draw our candles nearby and light them together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ציוונו להדליק נר של Shabbat.
And as we continue with the words of Shalom Aleichem, I just wanted to read a line of a well-known poem that is written by the famous artist Bialik, which says, "The sun over the treetops is no longer seen. Come, let us go forth to greet the Shabbat Queen. Behold her arrival, the holy, the blessed, and with her angels of peace and of rest. Come near, Shabbat abide." So let's continue the singing of Shalom Aleichem that helps us greet those angels of peace.
We'll encourage you to return to gallery view after the screen share as well. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Bochem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 tzidchem leShalom, Malachei leShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yai lai lai, yai lai, ya la lai, yai lai, la la lai, yai lai, yai lai, 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 yai lai, 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 hai lai, ya la lai, yai lai, hai lai, lai, lai.
So let us continue to greet the Shabbat presence with the words of Lecha Dodi.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishme'anu el ha'miyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, L'shem ultiferet v'li tehila, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabela, מחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת אקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבור אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה יללי יללי
We invite you to please rise in body or spirit as we greet the Sabbath bride.
בואי ושלום
עטרת
עלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה הולך אדוני לקראת כלה או פני שבת נקבלה הולך אדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה פני שבת
Shabbat is here. Let us return to gallery view. Take a seat, maybe place your feet firmly on the floor. Relax your muscles, the muscles in your face. Feel Sabbath invade your soul as we turn to the words of Shema and feel our breath in and out with gratitude for life.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
And the Shema continues with the word V'ahavta, you shall love. Let there be love.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be השכיבנו לשלום.
והמיתנו שומרנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
So that second voice was Ilan on the piano.
Ilan
So,
Wong, thank you so much.
I'm grateful you're here with us. Eventually, we will have more than one camera in our sanctuary, so you can see multiple faces. We'll get there. For now, Ryan, will you continue?
Thank you, Rabbi. We'll join together for Adonai Sefatai Tivtach, the words that ask us to open up our lips so we can declare the words of praise that are within our hearts. So as we do each week, we will open up the chat box so that the words that are on your lips don't just live on your lips and in your muted Zoom screens, but actually live in our space together. And so I invite you to share the joys of your week, what you're bringing into Shabbat. And I invite you also, as you say them, to also read them. It brings me a lot of joy to be able to see all of the joys in our collective community together. Let's join with these words. Adonai, Sefatai Tivtach, V'yagid Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sefatai Tivtach. V'yagid Tehilatecha, open up our lips that we may praise your name. Open up our hearts that we may feel our pain. Open up our souls and let our love make us whole. And we will praise your name, Adonai, Sefatai Tivtach, V'yagid Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sefatai Tivtach, V'yagid Tehilatecha. We'll now take some time for our own private meditations. let's join together with Oseh Shalom, some words for peace, peace for us, peace for Israel, and for the whole world. Oseh Shalom, Bimromav. Oseh Shalom, Bimromav. Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Hallelujah. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. There is so much collective peace on this screen. It's such a joy to see. Let's sing together one more time. Use our voices, use our hands, whatever we need to do to bring more peace into this world. Let's do it. Oseh Shalom, Bimromav. Oseh Shalom, Bimromav. Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Hallelujah. Let's go. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
May the one who brings peace bring a sense of shalom, a sense of wholeness to those who are in need of healing, whether it be a healing of the body, of the spirit, or of the mind. So we will welcome you to open your hearts to think of those who are in need of healing, to mention them in our chat box. We think of all those who are ill, struggling with the coronavirus, those who are in need of sense of comfort and healing. So let's join together.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body
And of course, on Shabbat, we also give thanks for the sacred moments we have shared in life this past week. And we have a number of this week that came in by email. And Cantor and Rabbi, it was printed on my sheet in yellow, and I can't see some of it.
I
But what
have
I
it.
can see
Oh, yeah?
is we have a number of bar mitzvahs, which I know about because I'll be joining you on the Bima tomorrow. So Mazel Tov to Sarah Freshman and Jake Spector and Josh London. We also have anniversaries. Jeff and Julie Havsey's 10th anniversary, Mazel Tov, and Harold and Linda Schwartz, their 52nd anniversary. Mazel Tov. We have a number of birthdays. Suzanne Posner and Norm Posner and Harold Schwartz, and what did I miss?
Well, I would like
Erwin Heller.
Erwin Heller, we know, turned
he's in
75.
yellow. Erwin, happy birthday.
And also, I'd like to wish a happy belated to my dad and my sister, who both celebrated on March 2nd this week.
Happy birthday. Good to see you on Zoom, too. Anyone else? How about birthdays? Raise your hand if we didn't mention your name.
Oh, I see Heidi's raising her hand, and all the
Mazel
Seidels.
tov.
Lots of birthdays this week.
How about anniversaries?
Oh, and Jeannie Stern, yes, happy birthday.
How about you're celebrating something new this week? Could be new life, could be a new activity, could be a new food. Mazel tov. Shehechianu. How about new health? Feeling good. How about new hope? Let's give thanks to God.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
So over 3,000 years ago, in the wilderness of Sinai, the Israelites were stressed, tired, a little anxious, consumed by fear. And it makes sense. A few weeks prior, they were told in haste to pack up their belongings, quickly prepare a meal, and head out. We are leaving, Moses told them. We have been redeemed by God's strong hand and outstretched arm. We must leave right away. Trembling, they arrived at the sea, person by person, family by family, and cautiously they walked through. And one by one, group by group, they arrived on the other side. With great trepidation and a bit of celebration, they continued their journey. A journey built on faith that their fearless leader Moses would guide them safely to the promised land. Now in the distance, out of the moonscape, they could see a large cloud-covered mountain, commanding in its presence with its high peak above them. Encamped at its base, they watched as Moses ascended Mount Sinai. I imagine that he slowly but surely climbed boulders and cliffs and finally disappeared into the cloud-covered summit. Days went by, and the Israelites didn't see or hear anything from Moses. No reports, nothing indicative of his safety. As a people, they were lost, far away from their relative normalcy, removed from their homes in a place of some pretty fierce unknown. And so in their anxiety and fear, it doesn't surprise me, especially when their path forward felt uncertain. Now, after almost 40 days and 40 nights, the Israelites lost hope that Moses would return, and they turned to Aaron, unsure of what to do. How can we go forward? What do we do now? When the Egyptians needed support in their time of need, they turned to different gods. We too can do the same, they say. And overcome by their anxiousness of moving forward without clarity or direction, overwhelmed by walking forward without assurances of safety and protection, they built a golden calf. And in this moment, their fear of wandering into the unknown without any certainty about what's next drove them to the wrong place and the wrong practice. And at the same time, and unbeknownst to the people, Moses held in his hand one of God's most sacred gifts, tablets of the covenant, personally engraved by the hand of God. Now, this moment was a true moment of connection and intimacy between God and Moses, and by extension, the people. And it abruptly ended as God told Moses to descend, for the people had sinned and built an idol, a golden calf. And so I imagine Moses running down, his mind racing as he raced down the mountain, full of fear and stress, not knowing exactly what he would find. And he arrived, tired and breathless, and in his anger and sadness, he hurled the tablets to the ground, and they shattered. At this moment, everyone was lost, uncertain how to move forward, frozen in fear. Now, for many of us, this upcoming week marks a sort of COVID anniversary. It has been a whole year, a whole cycle of time since we gathered as a full community in our sanctuary, since we hugged extended family, had dinner with friends, chatted with strangers in line for coffee, attended meetings in person. And so as I was reading our Parsha this week, Ki Tisa, I was struck by the experience of the Israelites in light of arriving in the springtime of this pandemic year. What it must have felt like to be lost, to have a semblance of the way forward, but the uncertainty of what's ahead feels scary and unsure. We are in many ways still in the wilderness, waiting for instructions on what's next. And so many of us remain filled with anxiety, even if this fear is slowly shifting from illness to re-entry. But this Parsha gives us a blueprint for harnessing strength and combating fear and uncertainty. It's clear that the Israelites show us a path of what not to do with this fear. Don't build a golden calf. That is, we must not lose our values and ethics that have brought us here. Don't diverge from the path that has gotten us all the way to Sinai, to this moment. We've emerged from the narrowest of places. We are closer than ever to returning to the journey towards the promised land. See, the Israelites built a golden calf in their moment of uncertainty because they needed something to do. Because it can be hard just to sit still and to sit with the unknown and let fear build without a structure to contain it. But this need for gaining clarity through action can be harnessed for good. The Israelites needed a frame to walk forward into this new wilderness, a frame that would be certain no matter the circumstances around them. And at the time of the calf, the Israelites were no longer individuals wandering, but rather they understood their interconnectedness as a people. And I believe it was at this moment of their greatest collective fear that they began to recognize the shared enterprise of living and growing together. And it's at this place in the Parsha that God sent Bezalel to help. Bezalel is an architect and the builder of the tabernacle who arrived to help create a way forward. Bezalel led the Israelites on a path towards certainty amidst the unknown by helping the people create a positive communal building project, the tabernacle. the sacred structure that emanated from the center of the camp. But what's amazing to me about Bezalel is that even though he is one person in the Torah, the idea that he is blessed with the divine spirit of skill and ability, endowed with the knowledge in every kind of craft, tells me that Bezalel represents each of us, for he has within him the wisdom of us all. The name Bezalel translates from Hebrew into English as to "in the shadow of God." And so if we are each created in the image of God, or the shadow of God is reflected in who we are, then we are each within Bezalel, or we have been sent here like Bezalel to do something sacred. In other words, each of us has a role in helping one another take a step forward into the unknown and help shape it. It is not an option. This is our God-given communal responsibility. And by doing so, we participate in this new and great communal building project, sustaining the structures throughout history that have given the Jewish people certainty in uncertain times. And yet our Parsha recognizes that it's not about the physical structures, even if they center us. We've learned that in the pandemic too. Rather, it's about the blessing of Jewish time. Our Parsha ends by teaching us about Shabbat and the sacred calendar of holidays. We may never fully understand the future. We will not have the assuredness we may desire. But nevertheless, our calendar gives us certainty. Shabbat gives us certainty. This is our framework for how to live. And it's clear we know that Shabbat has helped us mark time throughout history, and especially over the last year, as every day can feel much the same. And even though there feels like there feels like a shift in the air. As vaccines become more available, more schools open in person, and the sun begins to stay up a little longer each day, there is a great sense of hope. Yet with that hope is also some fear about what it's going to be like, what will change, and what will remain the same. And so as we move into this new phase of this pandemic, our calendar gives us the certainty we need to move forward. The certainty that Shabbat will come week after week, that after Purim comes Passover, even when we don't know what it will fully look like. In the last year, our TBE community has used this sacred time in a new way to gather around joy and sadness, fear and possibility. Our nation, race, hundreds of us each week have used Shabbat and our sacred calendar to root us to one another, to give us direction, a lighthouse guiding our way. And this renewed commitment to the rhythm of Jewish life doesn't have to end with the pandemic. We can continue to live in this sanctuary of time and the certainty it brings. My hope is that we will all continue observing Shabbat so that it brings meaning to our lives as time moves forward, just as it has throughout this year. Continue to light the candles each week to enjoy fresh challah, to set aside special time to gather in community with one another. The Israelites were in crisis. And in their fear, they didn't have the tools to move forward, and they built a false god. And we are vulnerable too, but we have the tools. We don't need to resort to building out of fear. Rather, let us be like Bezalel, who came and said, "You have the wisdom and the light within you." And so moving forward, may we be blessed to find certainty through the rituals and blessings of Jewish time. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yasher Koach.
Tishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat
לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
Let's continue with words of Mourner's Kaddish. If we can place these words on the screen, and we invite the mourners in our midst to use the chat room to place the names of those they're remembering. Let me also add the names of those who passed away during the past 30 days. David Berger, Jennifer Beth Cott, David Goldberg, Laura Mintz, Loa Mirsky, Dorothy O'Connell, Larry Rosen, Stephen Safro, Lenore Cutlow-Tobin, and Sky Yardley. I've also been asked to recite the names of Harriet Friedman, Samuel Rothstein, Harry Sissenwine, Ethel Solomons, Jane Tonkenau, and Herman Weissman. We think of all of them along with all of those listed in our chat room this evening, and we invite the mourners in our midst to recognize themselves by standing or by raising a hand and joining me in these words. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yamad yivrach ruteh v'yamlich malchuteh. B'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayed chol Beit Yisrael. B'galav izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mavarach le'alam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmeid k'rishab richu. Le'la min kol b'derchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata. Ta'miran b'yama v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Announcements, rabbis, Cantor.
Yes, actually, I'd love to make an announcement. Coming up on March 18th, it is a Thursday night. Cantor Suffren and I will be welcoming Chazan Alberto Mizrahi into our community to teach us a little bit about the history of the cantorate. It is an evening not to be missed, so please stay tuned and please join us on the 18th.
There's much going on this week. If you've ever been interested in learning Arabic, we have the first ever TBE Intro to Arabic class seminar for 3 days this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 12 to 1:15. If you're interested, please check out our website. We have a Racial Justice Initiative quarterly meeting Wednesday evening. There is much going on. Please check out our website as we learn together and look forward to Passover.
I am going to take the Arabic course. I'm excited about that. And there is a lot of great learning. Also, mark your calendar for March 22nd. Our new representative in Congress that represents the district that the temple sits within, the 4th District, Jake Auchincloss, will be addressing our congregation And we'll have the opportunity to ask him questions on foreign policy, domestic issues. And so it's a great opportunity to develop the relationship between our congregation and the congressman. Let's now turn to words of Kiddush.
Yes, I just would like to thank Elon Wong once again for joining us tonight, both on piano and singing Let There Be Love.
And I wish we could get you on camera because
Yeah.
he just got engaged.
He
And I
did
want to
just get
say,
engaged.
Mazel Tov. Let us get Joshua on camera during Kiddush. There you are. Raise that Kiddush cup high in the air.
Let's join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu vacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Raise it up high, Josh. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabat. L'chaim, take a sip.
You can take a sip. Mazel Tov. From our whole congregation, we say Mazel Tov to you. Before we get Jake on the screen for Motzi, student Rabbi Lesner, you have an announcement too, I understand.
I do. We are starting on Thursday evenings a weekly playground where we are going to explore different modes of prayer as a way of understanding our own personal prayer practices in community. So join us on Thursday evening starting on March 18th. Information is all online, but we're looking forward to having you there.
What time? 7 o'clock?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Great.
People's time.
Jake, let's see your face with that Cheryl Ann's challah. Hold up that challah. There it is.
Nice.
All right. Let's unmute Jake so that we can hear him.
Hi.
Hello. You want to share the blessing?
Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
B'tei avon.
Amen. But take a bite of challah, Jake.
Amen, amen, amen.
Hey, yummy. Now we can say Mazel Tov to you. Shabbat Shalom. Let's open up the microphones and greet each other. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Oh, can you maybe Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom. Shalom, Margie. So if it comes to us, we have Shalom, Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom, more people our age. Shabbat Shalom, Deborah. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for letting us Shabbat Shalom, Nene.
Why did he ignore you? Because he was,
Shabbat Shalom, Diane.
was he insulting
Shabbat Shalom, Margie.
what
Shabbat Shalom.
festival?
Day.
Posner, Shabbat Shalom. Happy
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom, Nancy.
Shabbat shalom. To take the party out.
That's right.
Shabbat shalom, Louise.
Shabbat shalom.
549.
Her again.
Shabbat shalom.
Her again.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Her again, isn't that dumb? Right, Jake.
Yeah.
Hey, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
It is illuminating. There were just moments in the Reagan film that I watched. It's really,
Everyone have a
yeah, the Reagan, streaming, I mean, they use all these stupid words on the website. I don't know what streaming means. Oh, yeah. Any time from yesterday, I think until the 10th. And it's wonderful. You can do morning, afternoon, or night. It's so convenient. I mean, it's really, I don't know whoever's going to go back to parking and going to the movie theater. It's just